Hello, my name is Ash, a counselor in training. This is my Relatable study podcast for individuals who need help studying for their NCE, CPCE, and other related counseling exams. I'm going to go through many questions from multiple resources and make the answers relatable to both you and me. So get your listening ears on and let's get studying. What is mini counseling sessions? Many counseling sessions are brief, focused counseling interactions to address specific issues or goals. Within my internship, I've had many counseling sessions with a variety of students because they needed breaks. And within those sessions, occasionally we would talk about the goals that they wanted to work on through therapy or utilize a card game to help them regulate themselves. When working with a client who is coping with the aftermath of a divorce, which of the following interventions is most effective for their emotional well-being? A. Urge the client to quickly enter a new relationship to overcome their loneliness. B. Encourage the client to express anger towards their ex-spouse as a form of release. C. Facilitate the exploration of feelings of loss, change, and rebuilding one's self-identity after divorce. D. Advise the client to avoid any form of contact with their ex-spouse. The answer is C. Facilitate the exploration of feelings of loss, change, and rebuilding one's identity after divorce is an effective intervention for an individual's emotional well-being to better help with the aftermath and being able to cope with the divorce. This can be utilized in a variety of interventions, such as journaling, CBT, expression through art therapy or music therapy, and learning how to cope with the change in relationships. What is the Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory, MMPI-2? The MMPI-2 is a widely used standardized test for assessing psychopathology and personalized structure. In addition, clinicians are able to utilize this test to help with a diagnosis of mental disorders. A group leader who asks each group member to recapitulate what they have learned during a given session is promoting A. Summarization, B. Clarification, C. Blocking, D. Linking. The answer is A. A group leader who is asking each member to recapitulate what they have learned during a given session is promoting summarization. A way a leader can do this is, "Hey Tim, what have you learned during today's session?" Tim may respond, "I learned a new coping skill." The counselor then can direct another client, "What have you learned today? What have you learned today?" So on and so forth. Or the client or the counselor can ask generally, "What have you learned today?" Anybody can answer. This allows members to step forward and discuss what they have learned. Through this example, it sums up the summarization. You see what I did there? Ha ha ha. What is the Minnesota theory of work adjustment? It is a career theory stating that job satisfaction depends on the fit between a person's abilities and the work environment and its requirements. It also collects a large data on numbers of individuals and a large number of variables, such as work attitude, job performance ratings, work history, needs, interests, and personality tests. And with this large mass of information and data, it is analyzed in endless ways in which a theological framework is needed to narrow down and focus in on that data analysis. That is all 5 questions for this episode. Thank you for listening. Keep calm and study on.